When I was a little girl, my Uncle Jake brought me here to Holland, Michigan for the Tulip Festival. I remember the multicolored tulips, the Dutch dancers, and of course, he bought me my own pair of wooden shoes. You know, back then, Holland seemed about as Dutch as you could get without actually going to the Netherlands. But that was a long, long time ago. If you come here when there isn't a tulip parade going down the street, can you still find genuine Dutch food and traditions and craftsmanship and history? Or has most of that become something we simply, bring out for the tourists? So, is the Dutch in Holland just for the tourists? Well, let's find out. But first, lunch. We're going to go to a restaurant the locals recommended. So come along with me. We stopped at De Boer Bakery and Dutch Brothers Restaurant. And this place, well, it has a Dutch story of its own. The De Boer family came to Holland from the Netherlands in 1956, the year after I was born, and brought their baking traditions with them. And that tradition, well, now it's been passed down through generations, and the business is still family-owned and operated. So this isn't just a Dutch-themed restaurant. There's real family connection behind it. And then I found exactly what I was looking for. A section of the menu actually called Dutch stuff. So my husband ordered a taste of the old country. So he had pea soup, he had a very large pig and blanket, a little dessert pastry there, and fresh bakery bread, a slice of Gouda cheese, and a beef croquette. And that came with mustard to dip. The pea soup did get my husband's approval, although he still says he likes mine better. He's a smart man. We're certainly not experts on Dutch cuisine, so I'm not going to pretend we're qualified to rate how authentic these dishes are. But that wasn't really the test. The question was whether you can still come to Holland today and order Dutch food. And the answer is definitely yes. Dutch food? Check. But I wasn't quite finished at De Boer's because it's also a bakery. I wanted to see whether traditional Dutch baked goods are still being made and sold here today. Unfortunately, our timing wasn't very good. By the time we finished lunch, the bakery was closing. They only stay open until 2, and I was practically watching the pastries disappear from the case as I tried to film them. I did manage to spot these Dutch currant buns before everything disappeared. I had hoped to find and taste a few more Dutch specialties, especially banquet, but I simply got there too late. But I was able to find this banquet at the local grocery store there. So let's see how it tastes. The amount of almond paste in the middle. Doesn't that look good? This pastry, I really like it. It's almondy, it's sugary, and the pastry is very flaky. And it goes extremely well with coffee. But I really don't need to taste every pastry to answer our question. This family's Dutch baking tradition came from the Netherlands and has been carried through generations. Dutch baked goods are still being made and sold here today. So, Dutch food tradition? Check mark. Now we come to something I remember very clearly from Holland when I was a little girl. My wooden shoes. You know, Uncle Jake brought me a pair when he brought me to Tulip Time, and I thought they were just wonderful. So I visited De Klomp, where there were wooden shoes everywhere. Plain traditional shoes in every size imaginable, painted shoes, and decorated shoes. And yes, you can still buy an actual pair to wear. But the part that interested me most was behind this window. This is where the wooden shoes are actually produced. Nobody happened to be working while I was there, so I didn't get to watch the process. But here you can see the machinery and work area. And wooden shoes aren't the only Dutch craft being preserved here. De Klomp also has a Delft-style pottery, the familiar blue and white china associated with the Netherlands. Through another viewing window, I could see molds and part of the pottery work area. So again, we're not simply looking at imported souvenirs sitting on a shelf. There's still a local connection to producing this traditional style of pottery. It's one thing for Holland to display symbols of its Dutch past. It's something different when people are still preserving the crafts themselves. So, Dutch craftsmanship? Check. But our next test, well, it's a little harder. because a windmill is very easy to turn into a tourist attraction. So is Holland's famous windmill authentic or basically a very large Dutch lawn ornament? Well, look at this. Turns out it's authentic. The Zwaan really did come from the Netherlands. It was brought to Holland, Michigan in 1964 and reconstructed here on Windmill Island. But that's not the part that surprised me most. So, this is going to sound funny, but I never thought of it before. Windmill. You know, I thought they were just for like wind power. But the clue is in mill. They also mill flour. And this windmill, well, it's authentic. And it does grind periodically through the year using local grain. Pretty neat, huh? This windmill stood in the Netherlands, crossed the Atlantic, and decades later can still do the job it was built to do. Okay, Holland, you got this one. Definitely authentic. Check mark. And this windmill, well, it was about 100 years after the original Dutch settlers. But standing there made me think about something else. This windmill crossed the Atlantic from the Netherlands in 1964. The people who gave Holland its Dutch identity crossed that same Atlantic more than a century earlier. And unlike the windmill, they weren't coming here to preserve a piece of Dutch history. They were coming here to start over. Like many places, this is where the story begins and for many ends, the Pilgrim Cemetery. And that story, well, it wasn't always a happy one. Pilgrim Home Cemetery takes us all the way back to the beginning of Holland's Dutch settlement. So walking through the cemetery, I realized it's about the Dutch settlers who settled here in 1847. And I was amazed by all the baby cemetery stones. Not even a name, just baby. Child mortality was tragically high in the 19th century, and according to the Holland Museum, some parents even waited a few years before officially naming a child because so many died young. And one Holland family had 13 children and only 5 survived to adulthood. Standing here, the Dutch story stopped being about symbols of heritage. It became about the people who actually lived it. Original Dutch settlers? Check. Religion was one of the reasons many of them crossed the Atlantic in the first place. And religious persecution was one reason they left the Netherlands. And economic hardship another. America offered them a chance to practice their faith more freely and build a new community. Now, many of the settlers were part of a conservative Dutch Calvinist religious movement. The original settlers for Holland were deeply religious, and they built what they called the People's Church with logs on this site. But eventually, it merged into the Pillar Church. As the settlement grew, they needed something larger, and in 1856, the congregation moved into the building we now know as the Pillar Church. Today, it's a beautiful, peaceful setting. But faith, it didn't stay just inside the church. Sunday church observance was taken very seriously. And there was no drinking or dancing during the week. It was considered a moral issue, not a personal choice. And whatever you think of those rules today, well, remember, faith helped shape this community. Dutch religious roots? Check mark. But things have changed. So this was a Holland shaped by culture where drinking and dancing could be frowned on. But boy, has Holland changed a lot. Now today, the community is much different. It's much more diverse. I believe over 25% of residents are now Hispanic. And it just shows how a city changes over time. Today, downtown Holland is lively, walkable, and much more diverse than the community those original settlers created. You'll find restaurants, coffee shops, bars, brew pubs, boutiques, galleries, and all kinds of interesting locally owned business. And yes, I couldn't help thinking that some of those original strict Calvinists might be a little surprised by just how easy it is to get a beer downtown today, even on Sunday. Times, well, they have definitely changed. And Holland has one modern feature that I wish every Michigan town would steal. They heat the streets. Much of downtown has a snow melt system underneath the streets and sidewalks. So modern Holland certainly isn't frozen in the 19th century. figuratively or apparently literally. But while modern Holland has changed, it still deliberately celebrates its Dutch heritage. The most obvious example is Tulip Time in the spring. Every spring, Holland celebrates with tulips, parades, Dutch costumes, and the familiar kloppen dancers performing in wooden shoes. And if Michigan weather cooperates, the tulips and the city is really spectacular. But Holland doesn't only celebrate those Dutch roots in spring. I've also been here for the Kerstmarket, the city's outdoor Christmas market. Small wooden vendor huts line the walkway, and people sell handmade items and other gifts. And you can wander through with something warm like hot cider or even hot chocolate. So, Dutch festival traditions? Check. And that's when I kept noticing something. Holland isn't living in the past, but it still chooses to celebrate that past. So I decided on one final downtown test. Could I walk into a store today and find things that were actually Dutch, not just things that said Holland, Michigan on them? Wooden shoes? Check. Delftware style pottery? Check. Imported Dutch cookies? Check. Imported Dutch candy? Check. And lots of black licorice. That's what I found here in the Dutch Village downtown shop. Yes, it's absolutely a souvenir shop. Mixed in with the souvenirs are actual products imported from the Netherlands that people can still buy here year-round. So Dutch products and imports? Check. At this point, I thought I had my answer. The old Holland didn't disappear. It's become part of something much bigger. But there was one more side of Holland I want to show you. So I followed this canal towards Lake Michigan. Along the way were boats coming and going, people enjoying the waterfront, and some beautiful homes lining the canal. So Holland isn't only a historic Dutch settlement or a tourist destination. It's also a modern lakeshore community. And here, as you reach Lake Michigan, one of Holland's most recognizable landmarks appears. That's right, the lighthouse, Big Red. So this feels like the right place to finally answer the question we started with. So is Holland, Michigan still Dutch? Well, not the way it used to be, but it still embraces its Dutch heritage. We found the food, we found the craftsmanship, the authentic working Dutch windmill, the people and faith that built this community, and the Dutch traditions and products that are still very much here today. So, is Holland, Michigan still Dutch? Well, not in the way it was nearly 100 years ago. And I don't think we'd expect it to be. Holland has grown, diversified, and changed. But those Dutch roots didn't disappear. They've woven into what Holland has become. And for all that Dutch heritage, well, it's still unmistakably pure Michigan. So Holland, Michigan, you passed the Dutch test. Hi, I'm Prepper Potpourri Escapes, and I have a new travel video up every week. So I hope you turn in and subscribe. And remember, adventure awaits.